So I'm Tricky, and this is the fourth video in a short series, just to give you some insight into our findings in terms of designing for Windows Phone 7, and it features an application called Logo Finder that we worked on with called Texacut. So really, this sort of very short clip is just to give you a bit of insight into what we would consider to be a sketch or a wireframe. Um, the purpose in this stage of the sort of design and development process is really that we've identified each of the individual touch points in the experience, but what we then need to do is start getting those screens kind of laid up and getting some content on those screens and identifying everything that's going to go on each node of the experience, but not necessarily putting anything in there that's not going to end up in the final sort of piece of software. So this could be done sort of sketched out. You could use sketch flow within Blend if that kind of suits you. It works really well from a perspective of it means that you can sort of drop controls into a screen but not necessarily put any styling in there that you don't want in there. We find that we prefer to use Illustrator on the whole. That's an application that we're sort of really comfortable within, and it gives us a lot of creative freedom, and it's fairly easy for us to then just import those illustrations into Blend and work from there if that's the way that we would then so choose to sort of go on. So like these are just the sort of five screens that we've isolated in the touch points from the previous video, and screen 1 is a menu screen, 2 is the camera screen, 3 is the preview screen, and 4 is the sort of matching screen, and then 5 is the results being returned by Bing. So it just gives us a little bit of extra fidelity in terms of understanding what's going on the screen, trying to get the sort of pixel sizes a little bit more accurate, and gives us some good discussion points. And the real purpose here is not to be too precious about the wireframes or the sketches. They really are supposed to be a discussion point, and it's as much about the interpretation of these and the discussions that it provokes, in as much as the sort of quality of the actual sketches. So not being a good sort of artist is not necessarily an excuse to actually go through this step, and tools like Sketchflow and Illustrator and Balsamiq will provide you with the tools to quite quickly put together these wireframes.